Hey, what's up, people? Pizowell here, and today I want to talk to you guys about Dario Argento's Suspiria. Now, this is partially going to be a review of the film, as well as a review of this new Synapse Films 4K UHD release. Now, I've reviewed Suspiria in the past on this channel, so I'm not going to go into a full in-depth review of the film here, because there's a lot to sink our teeth into when it comes to this release. I'll also post a link to my full review of Suspiria from a few years ago down in the description for you guys, if you want to check that out. And I hardly know where to begin with Dario Argento's Suspiria. I'm not going to bore you guys with any kind of plot synopsis or anything like that. I'm going to assume that most of you out there have already seen this film, and if you haven't seen the film, you are at least somewhat aware of it. Because in my opinion, Suspiria is Dario Argento's masterpiece. Now, it's not necessarily my favorite film of his, but it is, in my opinion, his masterpiece from the point of view of Argento being a very visual storyteller. Now, from a narrative point of view, there's not a whole lot going on in Suspiria. Very early on in the film, the plot just kind of goes out the window. There's not a whole lot of time given to character development or anything like that. And the movie just kind of follows its own logic, which is a very nightmarish sort of anti-logic. This film is all about the atmosphere. It's all about the production design. It's all about the cinematography. It's all about Argento being the artist and using the set as sort of his canvas. Every frame of this movie seems to be meticulously designed. Every camera movement seems to be meticulously choreographed. Every set piece and the lighting design of that set piece seems to have its own meaning. So instead of saying that Suspiria is style over substance, I would say that in the case of Suspiria, its style is its substance. Suspiria is simply a film that defies all explanation. It's an assault on literally all the senses, from the amazing music from Goblin that just pounds and pulses and howls throughout this entire film. The look of the movie, it's like some kind of trip, and those elements are so palpable that it's almost like you can smell this movie and taste this movie also. Suspiria is very fairy tale like. It's ultra violent. It's a beautiful movie to look at. It's a disorienting movie to listen to. It's a masterpiece. If you've not seen Suspiria, I highly recommend it. This 4K UHD release from Synapse Films would be a great way to introduce yourself to the film. If you're a fan of Suspiria, you definitely want to look into picking up this 4K UHD release from Synapse Films and add it to your collection. First, let's check out the presentation for this release. This release comes with a slipcase that features this really cool artwork on it. Just check that out. And that is some really cool artwork. Here is the back of the release with all of the extras, all the specs, the credits, etc., etc. On the sleeve here, we have the original poster art for Dario Argento's Suspiria. At least I think this is the original poster artwork for Suspiria. I could be wrong. If I am wrong, please correct me in the comments section below. The black case, I think, is also just really cool. Inside, we have 2 discs, as well as the Synapse Films 2020 product catalog. Here is the 4K disc there, and then we have the special features on a Blu-ray disc. The sleeve is reversible, and on the reverse of the sleeve, we have the same artwork that is on the slipcase, which again is very cool. As far as the picture quality and sound quality on this release, wow. All I can say is wow. Suspiria was the kind of film that was made for 4K, and this film looks stunning on this 4K release. I would give the picture quality a 5 out of 5. The colors, the reds, the blues, the greens, they just kind of, I don't know, they take on just this extra level of personification with this release. The picture quality on this release is absolutely fantastic. I cannot say enough about it. Synapse Films has knocked it out of the park with this 4K release of Suspiria. This is how Suspiria should be experienced. The audio quality was also fantastic on this release. I would give it a 5 out of 5 as well. So the picture quality and the sound quality on this 4K release are perfect. As far as extras are concerned, first up, we have A Sigh from the Depths, 40 Years of Suspiria. It's 27 minutes and 7 seconds in length. It includes interviews with Rob Galuzzo, Derek Botello, Sean Keller, David E. Williams, and Rebecca Kendry. They discuss Argento's early works, Argento and Daria Nicolodi's relationship, Argento's obsession with witches and the occult, and Suspiria's fairy tale-like qualities. They discuss the cinematography of Suspiria and the use of colors in the film. They discuss the production design, the use of the camera movements, and the casting of the film. They discuss the finesse and beauty of the violence in Suspiria, the score, the film's international success and its influence, and much more. Next up, we have Do You Know Anything About Witches? A visual essay by Michael McKenzie. It's 30 minutes and 6 seconds in length. Mr. McKenzie discusses Argento's early career before expertly exploring the themes, the characters, the cinematography, the score, and the violence of Suspiria, and more. Next up, we have Susie in Nazi Germany, in which the location of Suspiria is analyzed. It's 8 minutes and 1 second in length. Next up, we have Olga's Story, an interview with actress Barbara McNulty. It's 17 minutes and 14 seconds in length. Ms. McNulty discusses her love of dance and performing and how she began her acting career. She discusses getting cast in Suspiria and describes auditioning for Dario Argento. She describes Dario Argento's directing style and his attention to detail. She discusses working with Jessica Harper and the rest of the cast, and much more. We get the International Classics Breathing Letters opening credits from the original U.S. release. I don't know why this isn't the standard title credit for Suspiria, because it is really freaking cool. We get the original theatrical trailers, we get the original U.S. television spots and radio spots. We get 2 audio commentaries, one with Argento scholar Troy Howarth and the other with Argento scholar Derek Botello and film scholar David Del Valle. I listened to the commentary with Mr. Howarth. I've listened to many commentaries with Mr. Howarth, and they are all incredibly informative and entertaining, and this commentary for Suspiria is no different. I love Mr. Howarth's commentary, the attention to detail that he puts into them. He's just, I've said it before, I'll say it again, he is a fountain of knowledge and information, and a great commentary from Mr. Howarth on this release. This is an excellent release for Suspiria from Synapse Films. The picture quality and the sound quality on this 4K UHD release are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. This is also a region-free release, so this release will play on any Blu-ray player virtually anywhere in the world. If you've not seen Suspiria, I highly, highly recommend it. This 4K UHD release from Synapse Films would be a great way to introduce yourself to the film. If you are a fan of Suspiria, you definitely want to look into picking up this release and adding it to your collection. Again, this is the way Suspiria was meant to be seen. This movie looks phenomenal in 4K. If you picked up this release, please let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments section below. Please let me know what your favorite Dario Argento film is down in the comments below as well. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and share it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Join the $1 a Month Club and help support my channel on Patreon. Thank you to my current patrons, Kevin Smythe, B-Movie Mike, Robert Sobel, Turi Delamore, Stephen Flanagan, Lori Holt, Craig Farrand, Farron Sutton, Jeremiah Lambert, Grindhouse Grotto, Derek Jana, Demon Waffles, Simon Clark, Stone Gassman, Zachary Barton, Lorne Dixon, James Welch, Eli Geisler, Jeff Overing, Pete Toll, Kyle McGuire, Jay the Stingray, Andrew McDonald, Dave Barnes, Jonathan Lundy, Chris Gonzalez, R-Rated Horror, Fear Fuel, Jason Breitenbach, Brandon Bisdick, Steak Sauce, Mark Striano, Jeff Gardner, Travis Davis, The Obsoletionist, Chris Earls, Kevin Fitzpatrick, Randall Beatty, Joseph Hinkle, Hey Isn't That Devon Graham, and Christian Hannah Horror. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.